how's it going? I'm Casey Martin from Wine Country Woodworks and Wine Country Pens, and this is going to be a video on me making some clear color blocks. So I got a ton of people requesting how I make this block right here on the right in my shop-episode video that just came out a day ago or so. And I'm going to show you guys a video in a little bit more of a vlog fashion. Like, it's going to be a normal casting video, but I'm going to be talking as it's going on to kind of explain to you guys the technique that will help you achieve making a block like that. What I'm going to focus on mainly is making a block not exactly like this one. It's more going to be like this one with wood. And I'm actually going to be using some fake burl, or resin burl, I should say, that I just cast. So I'll show you guys that mold really quick and that burl before I do it. But this technique, I want to kind of keep it almost as if it takes, almost as if it's an achievement to be able to get that effect with the one that I was showing you with no wood. And I think after you watch this video, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out how to do it. But I just think it adds a lot of value and a really sense of achievement, like I mentioned, to be able to do it and kind of figure it out on your own. So don't get mad at me for not doing the exact same. I think, it's pretty fair of me to kind of keep that little exact way to do it. As something you have to learn yourself. I share so much with you guys. I mean, pretty much everything I do, I share with you guys and tell you how I do it. So don't get, mad at me for that. I hope you'll very easily be able to figure out how to do it after watching this video. So enough of me rambling and explaining. Let's get into the casting. Alright guys, so here is the silicone mold I made of some live edge maple burl. This is the burl we're going to be casting. It's just a red Pearl X, so just solid red color. It's hard to tell from this side because the mold is so accurate that you really get the kind of texture of the wood, so it doesn't come out shiny. But when we cut into the sides and everything and clean up the block at the end, it definitely will be. The only problem I found with this mold, I made it in this larger casting mold, is I made the walls too thin. So the first time I tested it out with gold leaf, if you can see, the edges kind of bulged out, mainly this edge, but this side did a little bit too. And the way I fix that is now, since I have 6 of these molds and I'm not using them as much right now because that custom order is almost done, I just cast it in this, and obviously it just adds the structural support on the side, and I have the ends on both sides off, and so it's still super easy to slide out. But this is really easy to do. I may make another one of a smaller piece, or a different size to do in like a pen blank size mold or something. And when I do, now that I've kind of done the trial and error, I'll definitely make a video on it. The reason why I didn't for this one is the exact reason that I now have to cast it in this. I wasn't sure how well I was going to be able to do it, and I didn't want to teach you guys a bad way. So look forward to that, but we'll get over to the casting. This is going to be what it looks like. I can show you a little more close up how detailed this mold is. It's pretty impressive, I think, how well the silicone does and how well the Alumilite gets in there. So this will be saved for something else, but let's get into it. Alright guys, so what we're gonna start doing obviously is pouring out the resin. To kind of eyeball this, I would say this is gonna take about, 250 grams. So we're gonna do about like 120 to 130 of part A. So I'm just weighing that out right now. I'm going to do 125, or as close to it as I can, 125.05. So we're just going to get to 50, as close as we can to that. So pouring that out right now. I don't think the camera is showing the actual numbers right now. I wanted to get the most like overview angle I could on the good camera, and then get it really close up with my phone. So so we did 251.8, so we're gonna add 1.8 and get it to 153.6, just as close to it as we could. Okay, so what we're gonna do color-wise is, with this red, I was thinking it's a really good opportunity to do a red, white, and blue. So right now I'm just mixing up the color. I have 2 cups set up that are going to be the colors, and then the cup I'm stirring right now with the clear is going to be the majority, and it's obviously going to be clear, so I can show you guys kind of this technique. It's to achieve that other block I was showing you guys, it does take some very accurate pouring and some technicalities and some timing, but it's honest. But to be completely honest, it's not as complicated as it seems or as technical as it seems. So obviously if you're a beginner, I would recommend experiencing, just normally casting at first, but given that it's not as hard as it may seem. So that's completely mixed up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit in both, not a lot. We just want a little bit of color, right? We want it to be mainly clear. So we've got that going. What you can do if you're doing a lot of different colors is start putting the colors in the cups previously. So I'm just gonna start pouring the clear into the mold. I'll move the mold in a second and show you guys a better angle, just trying to gauge how much resin it's actually going to use. Okay, so I think that 250 was perfect. So we're going to have white in both of them, and then blue in one of them. So that's obviously going to make the blue have a white base, but that's what we want to get that kind of pastel color look, and it's going to look a lot better in the clear. So just mixing that up right now. And then what the hardest thing about this, or maybe I shouldn't say hardest, but the most technical part to get that look we're going after is the pouring. So after you have these mixed up, that's what we're gonna do. So I might have to add a little more white to this. I think it's gonna be okay. Actually, I think it'll be good. Okay, so let's get the mold at a good angle for this camera. I think that should be pretty good. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna pour a little bit of white in. Let me make sure I'm not getting too much in the way of you guys. So just a little bit of white. Just a tad. We don't want to do too much yet. We want to see kind of what's going on. Really like the blue, so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end up doing all of both of them, I think. So obviously it just depends on your pouring. I'm sure you guys are able to figure out now if you're just going on the outside, as I'm kind of doing a little bit right here to show you guys. You're going to get clear in the middle, and it's all about how slow you're pouring, where you're pouring it, if you're going to try to do swirls at the end or not. And I don't think I'm going to try to do swirls at the end, because you kind of get that little look of it just suspended in water almost. Obviously it's resin, but so that's as simple as it is. It would look really cool if I swirled it, but we're not going to do that, so you guys can see how it cures. So I'll come back to you guys after this is done in the pressure pot. I'm going to put this in at 80 psi for about 2 hours. Alright everyone, so here is the block after it just came out. You can kind of see the red pearl a little bit more on the bottom there. Clearly what happened here is there's not as much clear, and clearly there's not much clear in the middle. And the reason why that happened was I was putting it into my mold rack, and this part was actually too high to go in the mold rack, and so it bumped it and pushed it like this, and that caused a lot of the resin here to run back. If it's able to focus, there we go, it will kind of show, see if you see the lines going back. And I think that's what messed it all up. I am going to clean it up on the table saw right now, and I'm hoping that maybe just the little bit at the very top, when that gets skimmed off, we might be able to see it. But regardless, you guys should still be able to kind of figure out the technique that gets you that clear spot in the middle. So let's clean this up and see where we're at. So after cleaning it up, it definitely has that little clear spot that I was hoping for. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to hit it with some spray lacquer. So I'll show you guys that, and I'll put on some gloves and show you guys it while it's still wet so that we can get the best clarity, because that's going to be a lot quicker for us to do rather than me sand this and buff this and all of that. So let's do that really quick. Alright guys, so this is pretty slippery, so hopefully I don't drop it. It's always hard to show the kind of 3D look that this really has in person to try to get the perspective, but there's the clear. If this obviously didn't have wood, or the burl wasn't a resin burl, then I think it'd be a lot easier to tell. But that's definitely how you achieve that technique in that other blank. I'm looking forward to making some more blocks with this resin burl too. I definitely want to do something that's more transparent. You can definitely see the lines, and a little bit down here you can see the spikes, and experimenting with the burl being transparent itself too. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this technique. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought of the video. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.